Julie, how are you?
No, thank you. No, you.
Thank you for coming in today. How are you feeling?
Okay. Another beautiful dance.
Another beautiful day. Is the lighting okay? Does it need to be dimmed?
No, very good.
It's very good. Awesome. Well, it's good to see you. How how are you feeling in terms of the week? How has the week looked like for you?
It's been good. I see my kids last weekend, which was nice. They all came home for the holiday, and then got to do some training, get back to myself, do things for me afterwards because it's a lot having everybody home, and trying to meet up with some of the people like you suggested last time. So that went well. So it's been nice.
Yeah, and tell me about that. I was gonna check in with you. We talked about choosing maybe a peer on your team that you're closer with and letting them organize your activity or your meetup. How did that go?
Went well. Went to a local bar and had a couple of drinks. It was nice, nice to get out of the house and talk to somebody off of the water and outside of our activity.
How did it feel for you allowing someone else to control the organization of it? Where you went, what time?
Well, I mean, I did kind of suggest where we went because I wanted it to be really convenient for me, but they didn't seem to have a problem with it, so I let them pick the time.
And I want to applaud you, right? This was a challenge, this was something new, and we dove into it and you tried it. And even though you gave a suggestion, you still allowed them to pick the time. You didn't force them to have to go with your suggestion. So I do want you to see, even though maybe we wanted it to be more perfect or you planned it differently in your head, you accomplished a lot just by that one chicken, right? And being able to kind of step back.
Thank you for suggesting.
Of course. How was your time at the bar?
It was good. I had my whatever drinks. And saw some interesting other people who were there. Saw some friends, so that was nice. And chatted with the growing friend. That's good.
How were your conversations with your friend?
All right. I mean, I don't really care about what she had to say so much, but it was good to make the connection.
Do you think you found anything meaningful in your conversation with your friend?
She said she really enjoyed hearing about my kids and what they were up to over the break. So, it was nice to hear how she thought I did such a great job with all the cooking, and it validated all that I did last week, which was good.
So it sounds like it was a positive conversation and you were able to share some personal stuff with each other and all around a good time, would you say? Very nice.
Yeah, it's good for me.
Would this be something that you would be willing to do again?
Oh, sure. If they want to meet me where I want to go, that would be great. Yeah, as long as it doesn't interfere with my other schedules.
Sure.
Yeah.
I want to challenge you as we kind of bounce off of these different kind of experiments or choices that we're doing. Would you be able to try this again, going out with them? Because it seems like you had a great time. And what if you maybe gave suggestions on the restaurant and you let them pick the time? So still sticking with you're able to give your opinion and they're able to listen to it and they're able to give their opinion, just like we did before.
Yeah, I would love that. That would be great. Nice,
Yes.
nice to see people outside of the rowing, out of our rowing clothes, because I do like to get dressed up. I like to get dressed up.
Good. Well, I'm really happy that you were able to go out and have a good time. And in the future, I look forward to hearing more about your meetups with your friends from your rowing team and how that kind of continues and moves on. Last session, we had talked about kind of just your progress that you've made so far in counseling and how you started when you came in here during your first sessions. you were very timid and it was very challenging for you to open up and talk about your personal life. You became very stoic, you tried to change the topic, and now, just like you were able to do today and in the previous sessions that were more recent, you were able to be vulnerable and talk about personal life and family and friends and engage in that two-way conversation. So I want you to see that even though you still have hesitancies about opening up to maybe friends or opening up in this space, you've come very far in those sessions.
Thank you.
What do you think about that when I bring that up?
I see that you've led me down a good path to get to this place. And yeah, I do feel a little bit more confident with opening up to people, not always trying to be right all the time.
Yeah. And I want to ask you, of everything we've done so far, what would you say you've taken away that's meaningful to you or valuable?
Leaving space for others.
Leaving space for others. Tell me more.
Normally I just come in and steamroll everything and take control. Now I'm allowing others to have their input.
And have you seen a difference in your relationships?
I guess so, because maybe that friend would not have met me the other night.
Sure. So that's one thing to keep in mind, right? Is the work that you've done from when we started and now where you are at now, going out with friends and having those meaningful relationships. We had talked a little bit last session about moving on to doing some of the work in your own time and looking at how much you've accomplished and all the goals that we've set for you that you've been able to meet and continue to build upon. And I want to know, what would it feel like for you to start to do some of the work outside of this therapeutic space?
Yeah, I could do that.
And what comes to mind when you think, you're going kind of back to your outside life and you're gonna try to take some tools that we talked about and I'll help you plan that out in a little bit. But what comes to mind when you think about it?
I'll have an extra hour to do something for myself.
Sure. What else?
Having to hear you in my head about what I should be doing to maintain what we've worked on to this point.
I like that you said maintain what we have worked on because it's very important that you recognize the accomplishments that you have made in therapy thus far in this space. So what I would like to do with you is kind of set ourselves up so that when it's time after this session and you're gonna take over doing the work on your own, you have almost a plan to help you get through it. When maybe times get tough or things happen, how we can think back to this space and think back to all the tools and strategies that you learned. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you a sheet and then a pen. Now, this is called a mental health maintenance plan. And what we're going to do is you're going to go through it together. And essentially, we're just going to build kind of resources and tools and almost a toolbox of things that you can do for when you're outside of this space.
Okay.
How can you carry on what we've done here in the outside world? Okay. So just like nutrition, just like exercise, your body and your mental health need attention. So this mental health maintenance plan is going to help you spot some risks, take care of your mental health as well as your physical health. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with triggers. So a trigger is anything that can bring back a mental health issue. Triggers can be people, it can be thoughts, it can be activities, it can be places. Once you know your triggers, they can be avoided or managed. So what I want you to do, and we can do it together if you need any help, but I want you to try it on your own first. Think of one or two triggers to start that you might experience in your everyday life and see if you can list them on your sheet.
tell you as I'm doing it.
Why don't you take some time to think about it first? And there's no rush. So, if you're comfortable sharing your triggers, what did you list and
If
why?
someone's beating me in the boat, if we're in our singles, and if someone starts passing me,
So it sounds like competition or in race competition.
right, or practice.
Okay.
If my kids are annoying, even though they're away, I have to go up and have to bring them things or they call when people don't listen to me. And if my husband starts irritating me.
Okay. So I'm seeing that you're able to identify people that are maybe triggers in your life and what situations that would lead to being a triggering incident. So keeping that in mind, what we're going to do is we're going to go down to the next one, which is warning signs. Okay, so warning signs or symptoms. Those are thoughts, feelings, maybe behaviors that indicate your mental health might be at risk. Okay, so looking at your triggers and how they would show up in your everyday life, think of any warning signs, so any thoughts, feelings, or behaviors that might come up if you were to encounter one of your triggers.
Yeah.
Do you have one or two written down?
Yep, for each one. One of them, the first one is a little bit of rage.
Perfect. So if you feel comfortable sharing, share what they are and why you chose them.
Because I can't believe that the other people I go against could be better than I am. And I worked so hard.
I would encourage you to write down that sentence that you just told me. So as we're partaking in practice or in a competition and we're rowing and we identify that thought has come into our head that you just wrote down, right? Now what tools can we use to counter that thought? And the work that we've done, remembering to stay in the present, relying on our abilities, relying on our teammates, not worrying about others. So keeping that sentence in mind, that thought in mind. What's your other ones?
Frustration for all of them.
Frustration. Tell me more.
Um, I get frustrated if the kids are annoying, get frustrated if people don't listen to me, and frustrated when my husband starts to irritate me.
Okay, and when you start to get frustrated, what can you do in those moments, do you think, to maybe take a pause?
Take a pause.
So take a pause. What else? When you're in that heightened emotional state, thinking about what we've worked on in the past.
Find out, what it is why my husband's acting that way, or find out, listen to the people who are not listening to me and find out why it is that they think their opinion is better.
Absolutely. Those are two really great ideas. All right. So I encourage you next to the space where you wrote your thought, feelings, or opinions to write down those two ideas that you just shared with me. So in an instance that you were to encounter frustration, whether it be with a person, place, or a thing, what can you do? So you told me before, but take some time to, because you have 3 more warning signs that you listed, take some time to write down.
What could I do? Deep breathing. Think about, I don't really know what's going on in their lives, in their heads, why they're acting that way. Sorry, I think I'm doing more of the coping strategies right now.
That's okay. That's okay. What we're trying to do is give you a plan for when you're outside to take with you. How are we going to deal when these things come up? Right? So writing those down is a way for you to map out what can we use, what is going to be helpful for us. So what you wrote down is perfect, perfectly fine. What I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you go to the next one. And we're going to talk about how we deal with the problems that arise. We kind of went into triggers, we went into warning signs. Now we're dealing with what happens if problems arise. And we'll go back to coping strategies. It's okay if we write it down twice. But I want you to look at self-care. So self-care activities are the things you regularly do to maintain your mental health. Examples include eating well, exercising, socializing, and engaging in hobbies. So take some time, and I really want you to think about what would work for you, what self-care activities work for you, and see if you can list 3 of them down. Would you like to share what you wrote down?
More time in my boat, shopping, and cooking.
Okay, so those look like 3 self-care activities, and are those something that you enjoy? Very nice. So as we go out and we have problems arise, one thing we can do daily to help prevent maybe our emotions from getting very heightened, or one thing we can do when problems do arise, is take a look at those self-care activities. What can we do? Are we able to engage in them? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna move down to coping strategies. Now, as we're going through this, if there is any time where you're like, Alexis, I need you to go back, or I don't understand something, please tell me. This is meant for you to understand your plan and have some resources. Okay. Or if I need to slow down, just let me know. So coping strategies, these are skills that help you manage problems or symptoms when they arise. Examples include relaxation, communication, and anger management skills. So list 3 coping strategies you can use. Think of maybe a problem, or do you want to go back to a warning sign? Okay, you want to use one of those emotions or incidents. Think of 3 strategies that you can use. You feel comfortable sharing what we wrote down?
Sure. Take some deep breaths. I could walk away from the situation, listen to music.
Listen to music, take some deep breaths. Very nice. Do you have a kind of music that you like or that is relaxing to you?
Sometimes when I'm in the car, the heavier the metal, the better. It pumps me up for.
Very nice. Well, those are 3 great coping strategies, right, that we can take with us. Music is a huge one. Taking deep breaths to relax us. Just walking away from the situation, finding our own space. The last one that I want to talk about is returning to therapy. Okay, so we're taking this sheet. You're going to use all these skills and really take that self-confidence that you have in yourself to practice outside of this space. But it's normal to experience problems or uncomfortable emotions such as sadness, anger, and anxiety. However, when your problems become too intense or last for too long, you may need professional help. How will you know if you should return to therapy?
If my anger gets too intense,
Mhm.
if I start picking at my fingers even more than I have been again, if I start closing myself off to others, or if I spend too much on the credit card.
Great. Those are all great identifiers to keep in mind. So I encourage you to write them down in that last section. And looking at this plan we made that you'll take with you, what thoughts do you have on it as we went through this?
Great learning experience to see myself on paper as to what my triggers are.
Do you have any questions regarding a maintenance plan or maybe any concerns as we think about departing from this session?
No, I think I'll be able to facilitate the status quo where I am now. And I know where to find you, so if I need to come back.
And you beat me to that. I was about to tell you, as you're taking this journey and you're going out on your own and you're practicing this work on your own, you have my contact information. I'm always here. So if those red flags or those identifiers come up and you need to call and schedule an appointment or another session, I'll always be here as well to support you. If you feel nervous about coming back to me and you want someone else, I can also give you referrals. So if you email me, I can help you with that. So just know that while we're practicing doing this on our own, you're not alone. I'm a resource for you. I can provide you with resources as well.
Okay, appreciate it.
We have a couple more minutes left in our session. What I want to do with the last couple minutes is I want to kind of, number one, open the floor to you. Is there anything in the last couple of minutes that you want to specifically talk about?
No, nothing that's worth like opening up a can, no, I'm good. I can work through things.
And before I send you off, I want to ask you a couple questions and see where your head's at and get some feedback. What positive changes since you started with me have you noticed in your life?
In my life that I recognize I can talk freely with other people. We made that comfortable for me. Maybe my competition, my inner competitiveness is a bit too much.
Mhm.
I don't know if I can really change that though. Those are the big things.
And what do you want to remember from our time together and your time in therapy?
That I'm a better person now.
Tell me more.
Hopefully I will be less frustrated with everyone around me. Hopefully I'll have more patience and space for others.
Okay. And before we close out this session, I want to do kind of an exercise that I like to do at the beginning, but I want to do it with you at the end as we're taking this kind of big change and moving forward. So I want you to take 30 seconds. Tell me, what are you physically feeling in this moment, and what are you emotionally feeling in this moment?
Little sadness that this is over, but also excitement to know that you feel confident that I could do this on my own.
Yeah, absolutely. And I am very proud of you and the work that you've done in this time with us. You have opened up and you've trusted and you've come in here with mutual respect, and I want to commend you on that. And I'm very excited to see where your life takes you. You've done so well, you have the resources, and now it's time for you to start implementing those tools on your own.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Before we wrap up, are there any questions that you have for me?
No, I'm good. I think we've covered it all.
Well, again, I want to thank you for being so open and so present in this process. If you need anything at any time, you know where to contact me. And happy holidays to you and your family.
Same to you.
If you need me at all, please feel free to reach out and have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You too.